All right, we're going to pick up with measuring angles. This is still under classifying angles. It's important when we measure angles that we first identify, is the angle we're measuring acute or obtuse? And this is because our measuring tools have two different scales on them, one for an acute angle and one for an obtuse one. So we need to choose the correct scale based on the type of angle we have. We're going to place the center of the protractor on the vertex. The center of the protractor on the vertex of the angle, and then align 0 with one side of the angle. Okay? Then we just trace along the second side to read the protractor. So here are some examples. We're going to start with angle CAB. So that would be C to the vertex A to the point B. This is our angle. Is this acute or obtuse? Well, it looks like it's clearly less than 90 degrees, so it's going to be acute. Okay, and I have one end already lined up with the 0/180 markers here. You see 0 and 180. And I have my center of my protractor lined up at the vertex of this angle. Now, which of these markers, the red on the outside or the black on the inside, starts with 0? Well, in this case, it's the black, so I'm going to read up the black from 0 all the way up to here, which is less than 50. This is my 50 marker. This is my 40 marker, so this right here is 45, and I can count up 46, 47, 48. So I get 48 degrees for measuring this angle. I can try another angle. DAB. So I start at point D, down to A, and across to B. This is my angle DAB. Now it looks kind of rightish, but if I notice, this is my 90 degree. If I were to make a square with that, okay, I see that this extends past that 90. So this is going to be obtuse. That helps me double check my answer. Okay, and I've got to start with my vertex at the center, one ray lined up at the bottom of the protractor. Which scale is that lined up with 0? The red or the black? Okay, it's lined up with the black, so I'm going to read across the black all the way. And here's my 90. 91, 92, 93. So 93 degrees, which matches with my estimate of this being an obtuse angle. Right? Go ahead and try EAB. That is EAB. Okay, first we see that this is obtuse. It's way larger than a right angle. And I'm lined up on the black on this ray. So when I trace and follow along the black scale, I get that it's going to be between 150 and 160. Here's my 150. 151, 152, 153, 154, 155. Okay, and 155 is between 150 and 160, so that is a reasonable answer. For CAF, look at C, trace down to the vertex A, then to F. Okay, we're going to start with, is this acute or obtuse angle? This clearly looks like an obtuse angle, which means I want to measure greater than 90. I want to look at where my ray is lined up with the base. Here's my base. This time it's lined up on the right-hand side. And where it lines up, which scale starts at 0, the black scale or the red scale? In this angle, it starts with my red scale at 0. So I'm going to trace along my red scale all the way around. I see I'm going to get something between 130 and 140. When I count that, it's 131, 132. Okay? Go ahead and try DAF and EAF. You can pause for a moment, and then we'll check and see how you did. All right, so DAF is here, A, F, line up my vertex, look at my arm that's along the bottom, can read that it starts at 0 on the red scale, read across the red scale and see I'm going to get an answer between 80 and 90. This is 80, this is 85, 86, 87 degrees. And then same thing with my EAF. We'll start at E, go to A, and then to F. So this is clearly an acute angle. So I should get a number under 90 degrees. My center is at the vertex A. My arm is lined up with a 0 on the red scale. So I'm going to read up the red scale and answer between 20 and 30. I see that it's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 degrees. All right. So you're going to use your compass or protractor for these other ones. All right, so I pasted this little transparent image in here. You're going to use the top of your compass. Make sure the straight lines at the bottom line up with the bottom of one of the rays. All right, and then make sure the center right here is lined up with the vertex of the angle. And then which scale is going to be at 0? I'm going to zoom this down just a little bit. It's actually an advantage to the little ones. Okay, so here I see my inner scale is 0, so I'm going to read around my inner scale for, for TSU. For TSU, okay, will mean that I'm starting at 0 on the inner scale, and I'm going to read around and get 130, looks like 132 degrees. I can pull this and line this up here. Again, I want to make sure the bottom, the 0, 180, is on at least one of the rays. Okay, and here we'll do PQS. PQS, so PQS is this angle. Need to make sure that the center of my protractor right here is lined up with the center of the vertex. Okay, go ahead and take a moment to read that measure. Notice my ray at the bottom here is lined up with my, for 0 on the outer scale. So I'm going to read up through my outer scale. Here I get that it looks like it's just past 130 or maybe 131 degrees. And then with these ones down here, you'll need to rotate, which unfortunately I can't do with my little insert here, but you'll need to rotate this around until one of your bases is lined up with one of the rays. So unfortunately I can't do that as an example here, but go ahead and check in with others, check in with your substitute, and they should be able to help you turn it so that you have the vertex lined up at the center and that you rotate it around so that, for instance, this part of the compass lines up with this part of the ray, and then use that to measure. All right, that should be it for angle measure. Have a great time. Bye.